What is up, everybody? What is up? What is up? Welcome back. Um, it's been an interesting week. Obviously, we had the Fable coming back, but the GPT 5.5 got blocked. Um, so yeah, definitely. I don't even know what to really say about it. I'm kind of like at a loss for words, but I think it's gonna be okay. I think we're gonna get the models back, and we're gonna see the government getting out of the way again, hopefully. But I don't know. This could be a thing that happens more often. This could definitely be the beginning, which is a problem. And in some ways, I think it is. But, I mean, let's put it this way. It's obviously the beginning. This is like going to continue to keep happening. The government's probably going to block some more models moving forward. However, I think we'll kind of like figure out a way around it, whether it's open source models or just like maybe some frontier companies start to get nationalized and or open source some stuff. Not exactly sure, but I mean, it is just the beginning. We're about to see government intervention within these companies a whole lot more, unfortunately. However, I think we're gonna get Fable back pretty soon, and we're gonna get GPT 5.6 back, and I think we're gonna get like all of the different Fable versions, and then whatever comes after Fable, like obviously there's like haiku, sonnet, opus, and now there's the Fable category, which is like the new category. And there's going to be something beyond Fable. I don't know if we'll get access to those, but I am willing to bet we get access to most of the Fable line as they come out over time, as the government kind of like hardens some different part of the grid infrastructure or just like critical infrastructure for logistics and transportation and all kinds of stuff, which will happen over time, right? And we'll have like different institutions and we'll learn how to navigate through this. But still sucks. I wish it never happened. If it were up to me, we'd be fully accelerating right now. Yeah. So today we're gonna work on a few different things. So let me share my screen. So this is the staging view of Polynet. This is here's the production view. We're completely redoing the chat in Polynet. Polynet's chat currently sucks, as you can tell. Um, yeah, it's just not very good. So we're redoing that completely. This is the stage view so far. Kind of has some Slack vibes to it. Um, just testing it out and making it better for now. And then we'll go ahead and launch this today. Our goal is to launch this today, have all of this live today for Polynet. And then I'm going to show you guys what I've been working on with the software factory. The software factory, if you forget or you weren't here on previous videos or streams, the software factory is basically a way to orchestrate agents in a UI. So it's changed a lot since last time you've seen it. I did a lot of work off camera, but this is going to be a place where you can orchestrate agents, and your agents are right here. You can open up your different agents, and eventually you'll have like 6 agents parallel, and then you'll be able to talk to them with OpenAI's real-time voice. I'll show you guys that here in a second. Orchestrate them with your voice, and then hand off work to the factory. The factory runs in here, and this is where the actual building happens. Basically, the way to think about this is, where's it at? Here we go. Boris Cherny, one of the inventors of Cloud Code, or basically the inventor of Cloud Code, he said he's seeing new different types of engineering roles emerge. Prototyper, builder, sweeper, grower, and maintainer. The goal for the software factory, or it's called ArcsNet, is to do all of the engineering tasks. So the prototyper, the builder, the sweeper, and the maintainer. So the prototyper is pretty self-explanatory. The builder is pretty self-explanatory. It's the thing that actually builds the prototype out and makes it production ready. The sweeper is the thing that cleans it up, keeps it irreducibly simple, makes sure it has good user experience, UI, and stuff like that. Um, the grower is something you can't really automate that well now. I mean, you can automate it, but you kind of have to do what I'm doing, which is like live streams and then chop that up and redistribute it, which is why we're building another platform for that. But last one is maintainer. This is the maintainer of the system. It owns the system and can help it scale, help it stay secure, help it be reliable, and stuff like that. And I guess in some ways, Software Factory is also a grower because it also helps people iterate on the product. It helps people, it helps builders iterate. It helps builders find product market fit much faster, and all of those different things. And all of it, again, feeds back into each other as a flywheel, a feedback loop, if you will. So that's the goal today, is to test out end to end the Software Factory, which is this, and then make the changes in Polynet live. And then also we're gonna have, this will probably be next live stream, but we're gonna test out the distribution platform end to end and make sure it can actually post and do everything completely autonomously. So that's the goal. And yeah, right now I'm extremely tired. So if my brain seems scrambled and jambled, it's because I am adjusting to a new schedule. I woke up at like 4 in the morning and went to the gym. Usually, or recently, my schedule's been really off because I've just been like up till 2 in the morning vibe coding every single day, every single night, like 12 hours a day. But that's changing because we need to lock in and make content as well. So now it's 5 a.m. gym, and then we get to live streaming after I get some stuff out of the way in the morning. Cool. Let's see where we're at here. Research points to one clear reliability direction. Oh, Bum, 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 bum. Where's my eraser? There we go. Bum, 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 bum. Where is that one tweet? I think I actually tweeted it. Let's see. Where are we at here? Where are we at here? Let's see. Boom. So, people have been talking about this more recently. Peter Levels was talking about running Claude Code and other agents within a virtual private server, VPS. Again, if you take this to the logical conclusion, and I've talked about this a few different times, I'm going to screenshot this and put it on the Miro board. I mean, I need to like invent my own Miro board at this point, or reinvent Miro for AI. Reinvent Miro from first principles. Um, but on a serious note, if you remember the previous live streams, one of the things that people have been doing for a very long time is kind of like running their agents locally, running your agents on your own computer locally that's sitting on your desk. And I think that made sense for basically the past year of agents that we've had. But as soon as we had like Fable class models, it started to make a lot less sense very fast. Because now each of these agents in their harness are extremely powerful and they can get like a whole human's worth of work done very fast. And they can actually own the whole task for a lot of the tasks that you do with them. Previously, it was a lot of like orchestration, or not even orchestration, it was a lot of collaboration with agents in order to do work. With Fable class models or like the GPT 5.6 that's coming out, I think you're just going to be able to like hand off work to these systems. And you're not going to really have to collaborate as much. It's going to be more of like orchestration. So Peter Levels is talking about this a little bit more. Other people are talking about this a little more. If you're new here, the way I kind of describe this is like you are a human orchestrating an agent on a computer that orchestrates agents on computers. Agents on computers. And that's kind of like the paradigm shift. So basically, running agents locally was great until Fable class models came out. Now each agent needs its own computer. We are going from agent harness orchestration to computer orchestration. And that's the big shift. And it's a huge shift. It's completely different than anything we've seen before in AI, which means the AGI is much closer because now the AI owns its own computer and it's operating it and being more of a like a drop-in employee that you fully hand off tasks to, which is kind of crazy to think about. I'm really trying to coffee up right now. I got like 4 hours of sleep last night. Ba-da-da-dum. Go. Do deletions first. All right, guys, you ready? Check this out. I'm gonna pause the music for this one. This is the Software Factory. W Twitter algo. Hi Neil. What's up, Cobalt? W Twitter algo indeed. All right, we're gonna test out the control room of the Software Factory. Hello.
Hi there, I'm here. What would you like to do next?
Tell me about the control room.
Let me walk through what the control room is and how it fits your workflow. The control room is your coordination space for software work. You can open agent windows like coding assistants and browser windows for local staging or production. You can send prompts to agents, focus windows, and manage layout all by voice. It's meant to keep your
All
work.
right, all right, all right. Let's look at the agents. How many agents do we have?
Let me check how many agents are available so we can see what you've got. You have two agents available, Asimov and Agent 2. Neither one is
Can
open
you
right
open
now.
them? Can you open them?
Sure, let me open both agent windows for you now. I couldn't open them because the control room real-time session isn't active.
Oh, damn it.
Really? Yeah, that's what.
Damn it. Rest in peace. Uh, control room real time session window isn't active according to voice agent. That's what happens whenever you do excess work and you don't test before the live stream. It breaks. Let's see here. So if you're new here, the goal is always to maximize leverage. And realistically, you want to live at the point of highest leverage, like your boy Naval Ravikant here. Naval lives at the point of highest leverage. He is the media creator, he is the code slinger, he is the labor automator, and he is the capital allocator all at the same time. And now with AI, media, code, and labor are all kind of collapsing into one new substrate, intelligence. And I think media, you still want to kind of have a human touch to, which is why I'm live streaming and you get to see the full monkeyness of Neil. But with AI, you can now take labor and code and just kind of automate it. And then the media, you live stream, which is like a form of automation because I'm just like doing myself and things are happening that are benefiting me, such as like distribution and marketing. And then with the labor and code or AI, it can actually take that media, chop it up, and redistribute it through the rest of the platforms. So if you want to live in the highest leverage spot possible, what you should do is be live streaming literally everything and automating everything with software and AI. And that's literally it. Honestly, at that point, capital, like it's important but it's important to the extent that you need it for tokens, and that's pretty much it. And tokens are expensive, but they're becoming cheaper. But what I think is really most important is once as you kind of like master living at the point of highest leverage, you can then start to help other people live at the point of start to help other people live at the point of highest leverage and then build a community around that. So whenever you have a community of people living at the point of highest leverage, it starts to look more of something like this, where you can seed a community, you found the community, and now you are the orchestrator of computers. You're orchestrating this agent harness on this computer, and that is orchestrating the rest of the agents on their own computers. Again, coming back to the theme that we're going from agent harness orchestration to computer orchestration because now agent harnesses need their own computers, right? It's not we're at a place now where the Fable 5 class models and the GPT 5.6 class models need their own computers to be fully effective. And they can own that computer themselves. They're so good and so fast, and they can now you can just hand off complete tasks to them, and they can handle it end to end for the first time. So you're effectively orchestrating almost like proto AGI type of systems with another proto AGI type of system. And your job is to live at the point of highest leverage. Honestly, what I should do here is get this guy, zoom in, paste it right here. Let's make it a bit smaller. I'm live streaming. And then let's get, let me copy that. Now this guy's live streaming too. And now this guy's live streaming too. And then she's live streaming. We're all live streaming and we're all orchestrating computers and we're building a community. We're building a multi-party memory system. This is a multi-party memory system. And we're all orchestrating massive amounts of labor in a very autonomous, high leverage way. So imagine you have a community full of a bunch of Naval Ravikants where everybody's living at the point of highest leverage. Everybody in that community is orchestrating a fleet of computers and agents, and they're live streaming. And that is feeding back to a multi-party memory system of raw signal, right? Now what you can do as the founder of the community, you seeded the community. They pay to be in the community at all because there's value to be had in there. As the founder of the community, you're monetizing this community. You're building this, you're breeding this like culture of high leverage individuals, high agency individuals. And then as they work, it feeds into a multi-party memory system. You can now sell this multi-party memory system and access to this community for extreme amounts. Eventually extreme amounts. Because I think personally, memory systems are kind of like the final moats. Uh, a lot of what people once thought was a moat is being eaten by AI, and the last thing that is a moat is experience, raw experience, memory of what you actually did, and that is signal that you can deploy into other agents. So I think that's kind of like the final moat, and I think this is like the business model of the future. Imagine you have a bunch of like founders, solo founders that are building like one of these types of organizations. Insane. There's nothing as powerful as that in my opinion right now, and it's becoming possible today. And then basically, whenever you're living at the point of highest leverage, as Naval Ravikant, you're just live streaming and you're shipping, just like this. You're live streaming and you're shipping, and this is your funnel. You have Earth. You're live streaming. You're distributing across all the platforms via automation. You're feeding that into the community where you also have other tools that you're monetizing in the community. And you build that community and everybody monetizes and ships. That's the secret. Magnificent. Media, labor, and code collapsing into a new substrate. Exactly right. Media, labor, and code is now AI. But media can still have a human taste to it, like live streaming, right? And live streaming is probably the highest leverage form of media there is because you're just doing things and you're just doing what you do normally. And it just happens to be building assets as you're doing it. You should probably always be live streaming, collecting the data, live streaming, building these assets, and collecting it over time because it's immensely powerful. Let's take a step back and think about this from the irreducible first principles. We want this to be simple, scalable, reliable, and robust, secure. Just build a mental model of the current position and rank us on all of these. We shouldn't have this issue happening. Jeez. Jeez, Neil. Just burping. Go. Let's see here. Push. I have multiple agent harnesses, but you can only see one of them. Unfortunate. Cool. I think what we need to do now is just focus on cleaning everything up. We need to list out everything that we have, everything that's working well, and then mainly we need to list out all the things that are legacy or duplicate, drift or technical debts for deletion or fixing. Let's just focus on a deep, comprehensive read and pass and research throughout the code base and repository. Leave no stone unturned and list them all out. And really, I think if you wanna break it down into archetypes, there's gonna be like one archetype that wins in the end, and it's obviously just the autist Chad. The autist Chad is going to win. The person who's going to lose is going to be the intelligence supremacist. And then you have the Munger maxer, which is like a form of retard maxing. Charlie Munger just likes to make things super duper simple, like irreducible simplicity, and then make decisions from there. Retard max. And then there's the actual retard maxer, which is just you can just do things. And then there's like the looks maxer, which is like status and network. Your network is your net worth, which is all still very important and is not going away. Honestly, this will probably be the one that outlasts any of them, unfortunately. But the retard maxer and the Munger maxer are my two favorites, and the autist Chad is also way up there. Yeah, think from first principles is the best prompt angle in my opinion. I always tell my agents, tear it down to the irreducible core, the irreducible first principles, and the key word being irreducible. The irreducible constituent parts. Super duper important. Very underrated. The irreducible constituent parts. Wait, did you push to origin main, the production path, or are you staying on the staging path? Because you're supposed to stay on the staging path. This guy, he better not have done it, dude. Better not have dadgum done it. Let's see here. We're still chilling. Let's see. Hello? Uh, I can't even see it. Fantastic. For some reason, in the right panel on the workspace on the stage path, I couldn't see the feed, but I can now, I guess. Also, it's like going in and out. We need to think about this a little bit better. It needs to be showing the reply buttons and stuff like that for threads, just like we would usually see it. Because right now it's like all bunched over here into the side. You see this? I'll be right back, guys. 2 seconds. All right, we back. We back. We back. Let's just focus on a deep search and really build a mental model of the current system on the right panel, and then build a mental model of the system that we have in the actual community chat page, and just compare and contrast, see how we're sitting overall. I think we should probably pause here and just build a mental model of the current position. Let's chunk everything down conceptually to see where we are overall. What is our current orientation? Plan the next slice. Let's analyze and review everything that we've implemented thus far. Not feeling that. The day you get thought to intent with your swarm is going to be so wonderful. I saw that from Meta. That would be insane. They're basically tokenizing and taking neural activity and decoding it into language. That's insane. The BCIs are near. Jesus. Very near. Very near. I think people don't understand how close BCIs actually are. They're extremely close. Like, years. Not a decade. Less than a decade. For sure, less than a decade. Handful of years. We'll have BCIs. Maybe 5. It's crazy. Honestly, we'll have like non-invasive BCIs probably next year. Thinking about it, we'll probably have non-invasive BCIs next year. Maybe the year after, at most. Damn. That's crazy. Oh my god. Jesus, dude. I'm not feeling this music right now. I forgot to update the title on my videos. It says day 3. It's day 4. Oops. I just realized that. I'll have to fix that. I wonder if I can do it right now. We'll see if that changes it. So what do you think is actually the best approach here if we want it to have if we want it to be irreducibly simple, scalable, reliable, and robust and secure? Yeah, boy. Yeah, let's do that then. It seems like the main thing is deletions and changes that need to be made. Let's plan it out and map it out. I wonder if I add a 4th screen here, what it would look like for you guys. Let's see. What if we did this configuration? I'm not sure how I like that. I don't like this song. What is this? We'll keep it. We need Fable, dude. We need Fable. And we need GPT 5.6. I actually think GPT 5.6 is going to beat Fable at a lot of things. Some people might disagree, and that's okay. But I think GPT 5.6 is going to be pretty cracked. I just need to create like a playlist for live streaming because this is not it. I'm just gonna turn this off, dude. It's just not doing it for me. I usually work in silence. I'm trying to put it on for you guys, give you guys a little music, keep you happy, but it's just not working for me. It's just not working for me at all. Ugh. What's that, Cobalt? Show. Oops, I did not mean to do that. I don't even know how to click on that. Huh. I'm not sure. I don't think I can click on your link from my end here. I'm trying. I'm trying my hardest. Grimes Genesis reverb slowed. Should I just type that in on the YouTube? Reverb slowed. Oh god. Is it this top one? I have a feeling I'm gonna get banned for this. Usually YouTube is like detects they can detect music, which is why I like usually pay or not pay play like this channel. This channel has like what 40 viewers, 10 views. Woo! 10 views. So we'll see. Maybe I'll get banned. Maybe I won't. I'm not sure, but we're going for it. I like it so far. We'll find out here in a second, I guess. I like it. It's chill. Can you hear it well? How is the ratio of my voice versus the music? Alright, I'll just keep it there. I've heard this before. No music or ethereal stuff when working. Yeah, I usually do no music at all. I find music distracting when I'm working, but I know for the stream, it can be good for retention. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I should try both. Actually, I think my very first stream ever had no music and it did pretty good, so. But. Yeah, that's true. I could route it for stream and not myself. That might be best. Damn it. We need to reconnect the OAuth for codecs. Do you see this? We don't have the button to do that right now. What is this? All right. What about the actual repo, the code base? There must be legacy and duplicate things for deletion that could be made. Also, there is probably a drift or technical debt. We just need to analyze everything from the irreducible first principles, database design, architecture, logic, leading up to the front end, and build a comprehensive mental model of everything and see where we're at overall. Probably just need to make a new one for that. Slash goals in 2035. What will they be like? You mean like kind of like the loop goals in the harness? Is that what you mean? I feel like slash goal won't even exist in 2035. I feel like 2035 we'll just have like robots that'll be kind of like their own thing, which is kind of spooky to some people. But I think we'll definitely have AGI by then, and it'll be more like a species compared to the tools that we work with right now. Um, yeah, I'm pretty AGI pilled in that way. Yo. That kind of leans into the thesis with this one platform I'm building, Polynet. If you were here earlier when I was talking about it, it's basically imagine like a multi-party memory system where humans and AIs can plug into the memory system, and that becomes something that compounds over time as people use it. So you could imagine as robotics become a thing, it'll be like humans, robots, AIs plugging into like this decentralized node network, and they can share memory, kind of like almost like a collective intelligence. But I think you can do it right in a non-dystopian way. Um, and it becomes like I think this is what the next version of companies look like in general, if you ask me. I think a lot of the current organization structures are kind of going away, especially I don't know if you've had the chance to read Jack Dorsey's blog post From Hierarchy to Intelligence. I think it's very correct on where we're going to be going. You can imagine like we have humans, AIs, and robots all plugging into this and all being able to self-organize and be highly agentic and autonomous and take actions in the world in much more interesting and nuanced ways, especially as like tokens become cheaper, work and labor becomes cheaper, and then human agency is radically increased due to AI. Current jobs, current hierarchical structures of organizations aren't fit for that. I think a lot of people are going to just choose to opt into something like this versus something else. And that's kind of what we're building with Polynet. Polynet is basically it's a community platform where you have the AI. You can actually use codecs within Polynet. You can use the codecs harness. We're going to put Claude Code in here as well, and you can use your OpenAI and Anthropic rate limits inside. And then you have the actual community feed, which is basically just the chat for now. And then all of that shares a multi-party memory system in the backend. And it's actually free to join if you would want to join. You can join for free. It should be linked in the description. Can you build a mental model for the current position of the product and project in the repo? So yeah. And then eventually, think of this org structure, but imagine every single human is extremely augmented with AI. It kind of looks something like this, where every single person, let's say you found a community on Polynet, you are the owner of the community, and really you're plugging into the AI system. So this is or let me go back. This is the AI system. So basically what we have in Polynet is every single AI owns its own computer. So this is actually an AI system that owns a computer in the cloud. So I can say, list directory. And it can actually interface with an entire cloud computer, kind of like a virtual private server, like a VPS in the cloud. And every single person gets basically their own VPS whenever they sign up for Polynet. And now what you can do is you're orchestrating this agent on a computer that orchestrates other agents on computers. And then you can build high leverage with that whenever you get other people to do the same thing. Because now you can offer the same infrastructure for everybody that joins your community in Polynet, if that makes sense. So let's say you want to become a Polynet builder. We have 6 Polynet builders so far. Whenever you become a builder, you are also white labeling our infrastructure to sell to whoever joins your community, which is insane. And now you're building this multi-party memory system that compounds over time. It becomes more intelligent. It becomes better over time. And people can plug into that, and now you guys can all compound intelligence. I think it's the future. I think we should start out with deletions. Let's plan out and map out the obvious deletions and just make a list of them for now. Anima Labs should have something like this. What is Anima Labs? I'll look it up. I don't see it. Is this it? Is this Anima Labs? Oh, that's not Anima Labs. Okay. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Kapow. Boom, bada boom. How are we sitting now? Hard refresh, eh? Let's see. Hello? Are you sure it's live and implemented properly? If not, make sure it is on the correct stage path. Let me know where we are overall. We might need to do some deletions of legacy things and duplicates things and stuff like that for us to have a clearer workspace here. It seems that we probably have some drifts, some debts, and some legacy and duplicate things that we can delete. Let's just think about it all, map it all out. Boom, boom. Alright. Switch views real quick. So I can do something that you can't see. Bum 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 bum. What the hell is this? What is this? Why do you have us doing this stupid authentication path? What is this? Why don't we just do it properly? Why don't we just have the person literally log in to their accounts and their codex harness within Daytona, so we don't have to do this garbage? Yeah, should be better. Fixed it. All right. AnimaLabs.ai. Am I looking at the right thing here? Machine cognition in the wild, how models maintain coherence across turns and time, how personalities form, stabilize and diverge across architectures and training. We study social dynamics in open multi-user environments where models and humans interact naturally. Interesting. I like this a lot. Thank you for sharing this. This is pretty cool. How did you hear about this? Hmm. Replicate. Is that on X? Is it this? Yeah. Interesting. Whoa. Model attitude stored ending. Starting point for further iteration, collaboration. What's this? Philosophy. Interesting. Hmm. Cool. It looks like they do a lot of like mech and terp type of stuff. As valid beings and entities in a big way. Interesting. I've seen a few people doing that. I think I'm not, for me personally, I'm not sure we're quite there yet, but I think we're going to be there very fast. Probably like 6 months to a year. Because right now, we're kind of in the process of like model harness coevolution, and the models are kind of like building a self model of themselves and their body and the external environment. Pretty soon they probably will be like autonomous entities, probably like 6 months from now. It's kind of crazy. Connectome is open source infrastructure for running agents that are expected to exist, not just act. It's two things at once. For most people, it's an application. If you give it a recipe and it runs you a persistent agent, and underneath, it's a stack of TypeScript libraries you can pull apart and build on. Interesting. Either way, you get an agent you can live alongside, one that remembers months of history, holds one continuous identity across every place it talks, acts without waiting to be prompted, and works with people who never see the code underneath. Interesting. Cool. I'm a fan. That's a good share. Thank you. Oh. I'm eager to test this app out again. But the agents are building. The agents are cooking. I can probably stop one of these screens, to be honest. Both is probably a little much. There we go. Did a little bit of cleanup and made some deletions. How are we sitting overall now? Let me know if you see everything that has changed. Dude, Claude is slow. Claude likes to take his time. Hello, hello.
Let me check what I can see for control room targets so we stay accurate. Available targets are the agents Asimov and Agent 2, plus the browser's local.
Can you open Asimov? There he is.
It's open as an active window on the control room interface. If you don't see it, try looking for the Asimov title bar on the Recursively.
Can you open Agent 2 as well?
Opening Agent 2 as well.
Cool. Let's see where Asimov is overall.
Okay, I'll quickly check the current control room state to locate Asimov. Asimov is open as an active window right now, but Agent 2 is currently the selected agent. If you want, I can focus Asimov so it's the one highlighted.
Let's just go ahead and talk to Asimov and have him do a comprehensive search over the repo and kind of build a mental model for the application.
Got it. I'll queue a clear task for Asimov to start that analysis. Queued to Asimov.
While that's happening, let's talk to Agent 2 and let's have it do a similar thing.
All right, I'll queue a similar analysis task for Agent 2 as well. Queued to Agent 2.
Cool.
Nice. Both agents are queued up and working on their models. When they reply, you can compare their summaries and see where they agree or differ.
Hello? There we go. Moo hoo ha ha. Dude, Claude likes to take his time. Holy cow. Distribution engineer is a Next.js app router. Service product for audience-led business. Canonical product idea is trust assets become tracked journeys. Journeys become attribution revenue. Let's talk to Asimov a little bit more. Oh. Let's talk to Asimov a little bit more, and let's have him build a mental model of the current position of the overall state of the ontology system versus the scheduling system, and then where we are in the process of having the video system that can take content that is uploaded from YouTube, from live streams or long form content, and repurpose that across other platforms as short form content. Where are we at with all of that?
Okay, let me pull Asimov into this and frame the state comparison clearly. Cued to Asimov. He's been asked to compare the ontology and scheduling responsibilities, assess the YouTube ingest and repurposing pipeline status, mark uncertainties, and list the next verification checkpoints.
Cool. How's Agent 2 performing?
Let me check the current agent status for you. Agent 2 is currently running and streaming a turn, so it's actively working through its task right now.
Cool. So now the cool thing with this is as the agents are working, whenever we have something that is ready to be executed on, these agents don't actually do it. This isn't entirely a space for ideation. This is a space for trying things out, for testing things, for ideating with the agents, talking to the voice agent, orchestrating these different agents with your voice. Whenever you're ready to execute on something, you basically take the context of everything that they have been talking about and it basically builds a context packet and builds a prompt for the other agents, which are in the actual factory. And in here we have 4 different agents. We have an architect agent that plans out the architecture. We have an engineer agent that actually implements it. Then we have a reviewer agent that goes through and reviews. And then we have a testing agent that can test and push to prod or help us figure out where we need to refactor, if anything. And now you can start to ship much more autonomously. And again, the goal is to automate these 5 roles. Boris Cherney, founder of Cloud Code, so there's 5 roles now: prototyper, builder, sweeper, maintainer, and grower. Grower's marketer, so that's going to be a different platform. But prototyper, builder, sweeper, and maintainer can all be just automated completely with Fable class models, which is kind of insane. So yeah, that's the goal of this. Insane where we are, to be honest. Because now we can orchestrate multiple agents with your voice. Because now we have real-time voice agents, as you just saw, that can orchestrate agents on your behalf, and you can context switch much easier and orchestrate many different agents much easier. And it's just insane. Just nuts. Bro. Dude, Claude sucks, bro. I'm sorry. Claude sucks. Why is this not working? Now there's literally nothing in the right panel. I think what we need to do is focus on cleanup. Let's look at the work we've done thus far, build a mental model, look for legacy things, duplicate things, any technical debt or drift, and let's just map it all out. Ugh, we need Fable 5 and GPT 5.6. This is not working. This is not it. I mean, it's working. It's just not. It's not it. It's just not it. What should we do next from here? Should we go ahead and push, or you think we should do some other things first? Push now. Let's do it. We need Fable. Fable class models. We need Fable. Fable class models. Really bad. Oh shit. There you go. Let's see here. Interesting. Big day for Cursor. GPT 5.6 Soul Preview. Cursor internal only. OpenAI's flagship GPT 5.6 model. Strongest agentic coding, biology, and cybersecurity capabilities with new max reasoning effort. 1 million context window. Could it be coming today? Could we be getting GPT 5.6 today? Interesting. That'd be pretty fantastic. I would be very happy. I'd be very, very happy. Let's see. Cool. Explain to me both of these agents and how we're sitting overall with them.
Got it. Let me quickly check the control room context so I can describe both agents and the overall setup. We have two Codex agents open and active. Asimov has already produced a detailed repo-based model that separates ontology, scheduling, and the video pipeline, with clear boundaries and uncertainties. Agent 2 has produced a broader architecture and data flow mental model for the application, including key modules and constraints, again, grounded in repo evidence. Overall, we're in a good place. Both agents have succeeded recently and have produced complementary views. The main gap is that neither result is a merged operator-ready synthesis yet. So the next step would be to reconcile their findings into one consolidated status summary.
Let's actually just talk to Asimov real quick and ask him what he thinks the next best slice is.
Okay, I'll cue a quick note to Asimov asking for his recommended next best slice. Cue to Asimov. He'll respond with a single highest leverage next slice and how to validate it.
Dude, that's so sick. The great thing about having a voice agent prompting the models for you is it's a better prompt than you. You can give it the most vague response, and the prompt output is like so good. I would not have said that. This prompt is good. What do you think the next best slice to work on it? Next, please name the single highest leverage slice. Explain why it's the best next step and list the concrete checks or artifacts you would use to validate it. Now we can just talk to the voice agent again and ask what it said. So what did Asimov say?
Let me check Asimov's recent messages so I can read them back accurately. Asimov's most recent reply said the single highest leverage next slice is to close the Studio YouTube placement tracking link and verification loop. In short, they want the system to be able to prove the chain from content to placement to bucket scoped tracked links to queued YouTube update and verification to external readback to clicks to attribution or AI snapshot visibility. They argued it's the narrowest slice that validates the product spine and builds trust by verifying that published YouTube assets contain the right tracked links and that the agent can rely on the observed state.
Okay, so what does it suggest we do first?
First, add a contract test that proves imported YouTube content becomes a stable placement with the key fields present, like content ID, bucket ID, tracking key, external URL, and a verification state. That gives you a solid automated proof that the placement and link spine exists before you queue any YouTube mutations.
Okay, let's have it build a mental model of the current position on this and then plan out the next steps that we can take action on and the code paths with it.
Got it. Let's line that up as a concrete request for Asimov so it can respond with something actionable. Queued to Asimov.
Cool.
Nice. When it replies, I can read out the plan and help you pick the.
All right, I'll be right back. right, we back. Okay, explain this implementation conceptually. How are we sitting now? Cool. So how do we do this in a scalable way? We need Codex, or excuse me, Daytona to own the authentication tokens, just like a normal computer. Think about how somebody logs into Codex on their computer or their MacBook, for example, with the CLI and how it's stored. That's basically what we're going to do, but within Daytona. Let's do deep research on this and think about it and list it out in detail. Let's analyze it deeply, just build a mental model of its current position and plan it out from here. Damn, that shit loud. Music, please. Music. Let's see. Synthwave. Music, music, music. What is this? Mm. Ba-dum, ba-dum. Dude, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, man. I do not know what it is. Give me this one. Ba-ba-dum. Cool, so next slice is basically just run the whole thing end to end, right? Alright. Let's turn this down a little. Tester out. Hello.
Hi there. What would you like to do in the control room today?
Can you open the agents and see what they're up to?
Sure. Let me pull up the agents and check their current status. Let me check their recent activity so I can summarize where things stand. I opened Asimov and Agent 2. Both are idle right now. Asimov's last work was a detailed plan around the YouTube tracking link and verification loop, and the main gap it highlighted was proving the end-to-end verification and attribution view, not just queuing jobs. Agent 2's last work was a broad architecture mental model of the application.
Cool. Let's look at Asimov and have it explain what is the precise next steps we should do from here. What should we actually do next? What should we focus on?
I'll have Asimov give a focused, prioritized set of next steps. Queued to Asimov. It will respond with a prioritized implementation plan and a single top first action to focus on next.
Let's open a brand new agent. Create a new agent.
Created and opened Agent 3.
Let's close Agent 2.
Closed Agent 2.
Can you orient these?
Let me line.
Just arrange them, yeah. Arrange them and make them fit the screen. That's better.
Arrange. Nice. Want to focus on Asimov next, or set up Agent 3 with a first task?
What is Asimov saying?
Let me check Asimov's latest response so I can summarize it clearly. Asimov is prioritizing closing the YouTube link verification loop. The top item is to add a loop contract test that proves the full flow: placement, expected tracked URLs, queued update or verify job, readback, and durable verification state. After that,
Can we have
the button.
Asimov hand this to the architect?
Got it. I'll check for the architect agent and hand off the plan. I don't see an architect agent
No, no,
in the
no, no.
library.
Have Asimov do it.
I can't send a handoff to an architect agent because.
No, 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 no. Have Asimov do it. Tell Asimov to hand it to the architect agent. You don't need to know what the architect agent is.
Got it. I'll pass that instruction along to Asimov now. Queued to Asimov.
Found something to fix.
Nice catch. Do you want to describe it so Asimov can take a look? Or should we send a quick note to an agent? What did you find? And who should handle it?
The fix that I found is something that you weren't doing right. You were assuming we needed to understand the architect, but maybe I'll have you understand that eventually. That way you don't ask that question again.
Fair point. I'll keep it tighter and avoid asking for a target when it's not needed for the instruction itself. If you want, I can also.
Let's see what Asimov said or where we're at here.
Asimov's latest status so I can tell you where things stand. Asimov says the handoff content is ready, but it can't create a durable architect handoff from this chat. The highest priority action is to add the focus loop contract test first, then follow with database and RPC verification artifacts, tighter package pipeline payloads, explicit readback in the publish executor, and exposing verification state in Studio and Nexus. No durable handoff has happened yet.
Cool. Turn off. Okay, I can't do that. So I was talking to the voice agent. It's orchestrating the control room agents just fine. There's a few different hiccups that I ran into with it, but overall it's good. The main thing we need to focus on is making sure that the agent harnesses in the control room, like codecs, have the capability of handing off to the architect in the way that we already had planned out. Do you see what we're talking about here? Didn't even work, did it? Come on. Load in now. Overall, the control room and voice agent are working mostly well, maybe a few different hiccups, but the main thing we need to focus on next is just making it so the coding harnesses and the control room, the codecs harnesses, can actually hand off to the server room much cleaner and actually be able to hand to the architect in the factory so it can. Oh, it did work. Dude, Codex Harness is having some bugs, man. Just a few bugs. Let's plan out the cleanup pass. Cool. Also, explain the entire staging path that we're on to me real quick. The work tree, the convex and Vercel states, etc. I cannot wait to never be able to, or never have to use Codex ever again. Never have to use Claude Code ever again. And orchestrate everything through this interface. Just talk and things happen. And the voice agent is the orchestrator, and I just talk. Ugh. And everything just happens. It's gonna be beautiful. Absolutely amazing. Ba 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 dum. I did a bunch of work. Here's the stage path that we're on, and now we're focused on cleanup. Just want to get your feedback on everything that we have. Let's build a mental model of the entire chat system, and let's rank it on simplicity, scalability, reliability, robustness, and security. Yeah, we should already basically have the ability to do the handoff from the control room to the architect, but it's just not working right now for some reason. Build a mental model of the current implementation and see what we need to do to fix it. Also, the handoffs from the architect to me for the plan should appear in our right panel. We made a right panel. It's called proposed. Whenever there's a human needed or human required work, it should pop up in here. Let's just analyze everything and see where it's all at and build a mental model for the current position so that we can plan out the next slice. But we should be done with Claude Code now. Thank God. Did Opus 4 is bad. Or Opus 4.8. Opus 4. Opus 4.8 is bad right now. It's like gross. 5.5 still pretty consistent though. Mainly with backend. It's really good at backend. Are we getting 5.6 today? Please tell me we're getting 5.6 today. One of our team members has a PhD in history. Has been trying to reveal. Interesting. Hmm. Yeah, we need to work on this to get it 8.5 or higher across the board. A lot of it's probably going to be legacy and duplicates, deletions, stuff like that, and then technical debt, taking care of that stuff, and then we can focus on drift and stuff from there. What do you think? This is the thing about Claude. I know a lot of Claude users that only vibe code with Claude, or they only build anything ever with Claude, and it just writes spaghetti code. It's just slop. Like Claude's great. Don't get me wrong. Claude is fantastic. But the code that it writes, especially if you're trying to eat real complexity and not just build like some little UI wrapper around something else, it's garbage. It's literally slop. It's not good. You gotta harden everything with Codex. Codex is the autist engineer. Claude is like the spiritual European vibe designer guy. It's like the artist. But Codex is like the raw engineer, scientist, major physics, like the engineer physics major from Silicon Valley. And then Claude is like the philosopher, artist, European guy. Uh, what do you think the best first slice is? What is the highest leverage slice to do? First, let's just analyze and orient ourselves, and let's build a mental model, and we can decide what is the best path to take from here. This is another thing I need to put on the whiteboard of truth and justice. OODA loops. OODA loops. I don't even like this design, but we're going to use it. The OODA loop. Everything is now an OODA loop. If you're not OODA looping, you're done for. OODA loops are the way forward. OODA loop or die. I don't make the rules. Go. put this in a few other places. I don't even know. Boop. OODA loop. Do it. Do it. I don't think people understand how close we are to like insane stuff happening. Maybe everybody does understand. Maybe we're all on the same page. Maybe everybody has like that tingle to them, that innate feeling that something big's about to happen. Nothing ever happens until it does. I think something's about to happen. Something already kind of did happen, which was like, the government blocked the AI models, GPT 5.6 and stuff. What is this? Oh, of course it is. But with the stuff that's coming out from like Meta, like the non-invasive BCI stuff, this is insane. This is crazy. And very soon, imagine having like a fleet of Fable, not even Fable 5, let's say Fable 6. A fleet of Fable 6 level agents after we already go to like Fable 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, 5.5. Get to Fable 6, and you have a fleet of Fable 6 agents with a non-invasive BCI, and you're just orchestrating them. You could probably orchestrate like dozens, maybe hundreds of them at that point, because they'll be like so good, and they'll be much more context coherent over time, and they'll be able to model themselves, their harness, and the outside world much better all at the same time. It's gonna be crazy. It looks like we might get GPT 5.6 tomorrow. White pill. Massive white pill. We've been waiting for something like this our whole lives. GPT 5.6 might come out tomorrow. Thank God. What is this? Okay, same thing. We're on the best timeline, dude. How lucky are we to get to see the singularity? Think about that. Think about that. Billions of years. Yet we are the ones who get to see this happen. Billions of years. Okay. Hurry up, agents. That's too loud. Jesus Christ. All right, let's build a mental model of our current position here, and let's figure out what is the best approach to tackle this at all. Is it an architectural approach, a logic approach, etc.? Let's just think about it from first principles. What is this? I can probably get that out of there. Get that out of there. Let's see. We'll keep that. We'll keep that. We need more agents. This is ridiculous. Um, let's think about the real-time voice agent real quick. Let's think about all of the things, all of the context that it can access either through tool calls or just the system prompts or everything that is implemented into its context window at all from what we have. Just build a mental model for it and list it out. First principle, that's all exposed to an agent is not just a name. It needs four things to be correct. Authority. Let's plan the best first slice. I'm about to have to get some more coffee. Let's do research. Make sure this is the right model, the right way to think about it. And then let's focus on simplicity, irreducible simplicity from the irreducible first principles, scalability, reliability, robustness, and security. And let's apply the Elon algorithm to make sure this is the best approach. First, start with research, and then let's think about all of these things. Da 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 da. Ba da da da. We need more agents. If I'm not orchestrating, let's say, let's actually do this. Let's set a date and let's set a goal for agents to be orchestrating in parallel and not just like random garbage like token maxing. It's fun, it's cool. It's also stupid. It's like an arbitrary metric to be optimizing for. You want to be optimizing for not lines of code, not features pushed, none of that. Just pure revenue. And even better, pure profit. Anything other than profit is stupid. Because that is the number one indicator for value, is what you're actually profiting. So anybody maximizing tokens or maximizing features or lines of code or anything like that, it's a stupid vanity metric. The only metric is profit. Because that is directly what people are willing to pay you above what your effort has been. It's literally the discrepancy between your effort and the value that you're injecting into the market and what you're getting paid for. So maximizing profit. That's number one. Let me get out my good old pen. To maximize profit, this is number one, maximize profit. Number two, second order, is I think that really to maximize profit, for one, it comes down to living at the highest point of leverage. It comes down to being Naval Ravikant. If you can be Naval, if you can live at the highest point of leverage, for one, you're operating in the most efficient and effective way possible, because that's what leverage is. It's basically how to be more effective for less per unit of time. So it's efficient and effective. Let me look at my codex agent here before I get back into there. All right. One more, and then I'll get back here to the to the metrics to be optimizing for. Let's do research to see is number one set up correctly. And let's start just with number one, and then we can get into number two and number three. So let's plan it out. But first, start just with deep research on number one, build a mental model for the best way to do it possible, and then see what we're doing and how we can improve it. So, living at the highest point of leverage, basically, in my opinion, there's like two things right now that you can do simultaneously to be extremely high leverage. And it looks like this: live streaming and computer orchestrating. Not even agent orchestration, computer orchestration. I think we're beyond agent orchestration now. We're now into computer orchestration. Agent orchestration was something that made sense like 6 months ago. Now that we have Fable class models in 5.6 from OpenAI coming online, these models are powerful enough to hand complete tasks to, as long as you have the proper agent harness, the proper skills and context, and the proper business logic built around them. If you have all these things, you should be handing off entire jobs to these agents. These are now drop-in employees pretty soon. So it comes down to computer orchestration. How does a human interface with a computer? Well, you don't run multiple humans on one computer. Each human gets their own computer. They own the computer, and they can use all of the different capabilities of the computer. And then that human can you can delegate work to that human, and then you can have a bunch of these different types of people, right? And that's effectively what we're getting now with Fable class models, right? As you can start to work in this paradigm. And then also, that's number one. Number two is live streaming. So to be working in the highest leverage way possible on Earth today, I think it looks kind of like this: the computer orchestrator that live streams. Other than that, I think you have to go build robots, build factories, build robots, and do things within physics, like literally like nuclear fusion and stuff like that, or discovering novel materials, or doing like a robotic service-based business, which is now a robot company. Like all companies in the future are going to be robot companies. And if you're building online, you're going to be either a community company, an intelligence company, or a gaming company, or like a world experience building company. I think most of the online businesses today, such as marketing agencies, consulting companies, a lot of these are going to collapse into one of the following: memory systems and AI agents, communities with memory systems. There will be certain tools that are just like very powerful agent harnesses that are interfacing with a bunch of different data, kind of like Palantir, something like that. But most agency companies are going to collapse. And I don't think people understand that. Like, these are not going to be needed for human judgment. It does not have as much of a moat as we would like to think. Fable is the first proof of that. Fable is still early. Fable still sucks at judgment. Fable's going to get there. That's kind of the thing. I think it'll get there. And it'll take probably a different architecture than LLMs even. Probably some world modeling architecture, like the JEPA architecture from Jan LeCun, maybe something like that is required. But my point is if you're going to build online, you got to be Naval Ravikant. You have to be live streaming and agent maxing. Labor, code, and media are all one thing now. It's just AI. Labor, code, and media, all of these are just now AI. AI has replaced these. So you have to be super duper augmented. And you could even say AI plus live streaming. Live stream. Otherwise, you're not high leverage. Otherwise, you're being a normie, in my opinion. Like, you have to lever up. So, profit, I'll just put a money sign. Oh, God, that's not a good eraser. There we go. Profit is number one. Number two is agent orchestration and live streaming, really, or computer orchestration. Basically, let's say agents in parallel. Let's put agents. Little robot. That does not look like a robot, but that's a robot. And then other than that, I think it's literally just volume of content. How many hours can you have somebody consume your content? That's literally it. Everything else is cooked. Number other like it's profit, agents, and content. If you want to make profit, you need agents and content because you need trust. Trust is a scarce asset. Let's analyze and review, build a robust mental model of the current position, and let's map out potential legacy or duplicates for deletion. And just start with this. Do we have legacy or duplicates to delete? Let's just map it out. Let's make sure we're simple, scalable, reliable, robust, and secure. But oh, how are we sitting? Should we look for more cleanup, more surface area reduction, more things that are legacy or duplicate that we can delete? Any technical debt? Let's just map it out and see where we're at. What should we do next from here? Let's list out the top 3 highest leverage things to do that are actually needed. Bum bum ba don't. Oh, goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. MCP appears in 3 different systems. Can you explain to me what you mean by that? It should be irreducibly simple. We want it to be simple, canonical. It should be exposed to polynets and codecs as harnesses, and then everything else should mainly be like canonicalized in UI projection, in my opinion. But maybe I'm naive in my assumptions here. Let's just build a mental model and see what we're looking at. Let's just plan number 1. Let's list out and draft the cleanup and improvements here for me to look at and read myself as well. Yeah. So let's just think about that from first principles and see where we are currently. And let's build once more a mental model of our position and see what's actually the best way to approach this. Let's list out deletions. Bro, what? Plan out number 1. Let's do the first slice. Let's just analyze and review this, and let's think about what we actually need. Plan the first slice. Let's do it. Would you change or improve this in any ways? How's it looking now? Let's make the final draft and write it here. Let's make it live. Now let's think about layer number 2. The pullable context through tools. Let's build a mental model of our current tools and what they do, the context that they have access to, and the adjacent components and context from there to build a mental model of it all together. Let's think about this next slice from first principles, and let's plan it out. Boom, 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 boom. Goddamn. Let's do it. I need to look into this more. I just can't believe this shit, dude. Oh, fuck yeah. What's next? What's next? Let's plan it from the irreducible first principles. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. This is so fucking nuts, bro. Holy shit. How do you think we're sitting overall on this? Hmm. I almost feel like we don't need so many read tools. We have read control room context, read agent thread context, read window states. Why can't we just have like one read tool that can be intelligently used in many different ways? That's how most harnesses are. They're very general. We have a lot of overlapping tools in that way. Like open window, focus window, and close window are good. Read window is good. But like I feel like some of the read tools can be used across many different surfaces. and everything just should be intelligent system prompting and skill routing and stuff like that in context. Yeah, I think it should be read context as one tool, and then everything else is just intelligent routing and listing. Maybe like a list tool and a read tool. It seems like that's kind of all we need. What do you think? Let's do it. I think what we should do is look at our references directory and build a comprehensive and robust mental model of the Codex agent harness and see the shape of its tools because it has really good tooling and they're generally capable and dynamic and autonomous across different types of tasks and large variety of things. And we need to have similar capabilities. So let's analyze their tools. Think about what those tools do, what are they capable of, and all those different things. I just still cannot believe this. Like, from brain waves to words, BCIs are here, basically. Like, not here, give it a year or two. I bet in 1 or 2 years, we have non invasive BCIs that are still expensive and still somewhat buggy, but they'll be here. They'll exist. They'll be working, which is kind of crazy. It's kind of weird. I don't know how to feel about it. I don't know what to say. It's crazy, but it's happening. We're in the singularity right now. Like, think about that. We are in it. We are in the singularity. That's just so insane. Autism to autism connection. Banger. Let's see. Where are we at here? What is next from here? How are we sitting overall? Should we do anything else? We should probably map out potential debt and drift and focus on that stuff. Where did I leave off? There I am. I think we should do deep research and look at the shape of our codex runtime harness implementation because it's currently in the Daytona runtime. It's hosted on Daytona, and we need to look at the best way to configure MCPs in our Daytona hosted codex runtime and just do a bunch of research on that path so that we can have an irreducibly simple and canonical path to hook up an MCP server once and it goes to all harnesses that are available. Oops. Oopsie poopsie. Like, holy shit. Imagine the ads, bro. Imagine the ads. Dude, I'm so excited. What's this? I love this world, dude. Startups every single day. Oh, okay, that's not very impressive. Startups, breakthroughs, technology, raining everywhere. Raining everywhere. Data centers in the ocean. Like, how could life get any better? I don't think life could get any better, bro. Actually, it's going to get a lot better, but you get what I'm saying. Let's just build a mental model of the current position. Think about it from the irreducible components. Let's rank it on simplicity, scalability, reliability, robustness, and security. Let's see how we're sitting overall. What is this exactly? Can you explain to me conceptually what we just implemented? I think now is a good time to pause and kind of like analyze and review everything. Build a mental model for me and explain it to me conceptually in chunks as to what our architecture and everything looks like so far. Getting better, but still not quite the eights across the board that we want. We need to focus on migration residue. We need to focus on any drift and any technical debts or deletions that need to be made. Let's plan out the first slice. Now let's compare this with our tool harness and see how we should think about what we're building. Cool. What are the next steps from here? And then after that, we need to focus on aggressive cleanup. So how are we sitting now against this? Plan out the first slice. All right, plan out the first slice. Cool. Are we live with our changes so that we can test it out? If not, let's make it live. Let's plan the first slice. List out explicitly what the end state should look like. This is the response we received. Can you look in the back end and see what happened? Possibly a probe could help. Let's do this. All right, let's plan the next slice from here. Cool. Let's plan out the next slice to get there. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. Let's do it. Let's do it. Goddamn. I'm about to get some coffee and water. Be right back. Jeez. The agents are running, dude. They do not stop. July 15th. What is this? What is this? Okay. It looks like July 15th is going to be a pretty big day. I guess that's when the super app happens. July 15th. Super app. Holy shit. Composer 3. Oh. Cursor iOS. Pretty sick. Ugh, let's see. New chat. Hi. Can you build a mental model of the app? Bum ba dum bum ba bum. Bum ba dum bum ba bum. Funny. So funny, bro. Let's plan out surface area reductions, legacy deletions, duplicate deletions, all of these different things. Look for technical debt or drift, and let's list it all out.
Cursor now has a mobile app. I want to show you 3 ways I'm using it. Cursor can test and use my software in the cloud with all the same tools I'd use on my MacBook, and then send me a video demo showing that it works. I can then
Holy shit.
or give the model feedback, and when I'm ready, merge it from my phone. I usually do these extremely long voice notes where I go into as much detail as possible. I'll be grabbing lunch or even about to fall asleep, and I'll quickly fire off a few agents with ideas I have. When the agent's done, I can get notifications or monitor it using the live activity on iOS. Finally, if I see something off with our UI, I can take a screenshot, then hit markup and actually draw on the UI or leave feedback like tighten up spacing. I can then follow up with some of my favorite skills like slash thermonuclear code quality review, which is a funny name, but it actually works very well. We've also tried to make it really easy to move between your local machine.
Pretty dope, if you ask me. Cooking. Damn. Pretty cool. I think you misunderstood. This is the output from codecs agent, not from the voice agent. The voice agent shouldn't be able to do anything with the architect agent. We should always go from codecs to architect. Never voice to architect ever. Analyze what you have implemented and tell me which one you did.